My name is Roxana Woods, and you're watching Average Joe's Sports Talk.
I'm Tara Blanchard, and you're watching Average Joe Sports Talk. I'm here with Roxana Woods today, and we are doing our newest Friday Night Wives segment, and this is being brought to you by Michael DeLozier with Aligned Insurance Company. So, Roxana, I'm a total girl. Like, I know this is Average Joe Sports Talk, but I want to know how you and Evander met.
Well, way back when, back when I was in the 7th grade, I moved to Corey Middle School, and he was already a student at Corey Middle School, and we were in one class together, and he would always laugh and kind of make jokes, and he actually got on my nerves really bad because I was a new kid, and so that's when I first met him. We didn't really have a connection then, but we were just classmates. Fast forward to 9th grade, we became best friends then, so it was kind of weird how it happened, but so we met in 7th grade.
So you guys have been like best friends in 9th grade, and then when did we put like a label on it?
It was in 10th grade. It was kind of strange how that happened too, but like I said, we were best friends in the 9th grade, and he actually hooked me up with my ex-boyfriend because he's been my only boyfriend since. I know it was a twist. He hooked me up with plot twist. He hooked me up with my boyfriend because, we were friends, me and him, Navendra. And I was like, well, I really like this guy. Can you help me? And so he hooked me up. And then he was like, okay, well, can you help me with this girl? So I know.
Lord have mercy.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. So anyway, he ended up dating this girl, and I ended up dating this guy. And we, we're all friends now, but we ended up breaking those relationships off, and we kind of realized what I was looking for in him was what you had, and vice versa. So it was kind of weird, but we broke that off and waited about maybe 5 to 6 months when we finally realized we liked each other, and we became official. So
rest is history.
Yes,
and here we sit today. From 10th grade on.
All the way up, yeah.
So both proms?
Yeah,
proms.
Since 2001, we've been together.
Wow.
19 long years.
I was going to say, do you ever wake up in the morning and be like,
No, I really, he's such a good man. I wouldn't put him past anybody else. He's the only one, so.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't see myself with nobody else.
So now I need to know, how did he propose?
Okay.
This is very important to me.
No.
Because look at the rings. I need to know how you get those.
Let me tell you about this ring. Well, I'll tell you about the first ring. This is how he proposed.
Y'all sit tight.
I know it's special. Okay, so he proposed to me back. What happened was when we first became boyfriend girlfriend, we were at Litchfield High School. He was coming off the field. And all this ties in. But he was coming off the field from football practice, and I was a majorette, so we were going on the field. And so the way he asked me he was like, hey, I'm going to call you tonight. I got something to ask you. And I just knew it. I knew it then. I was like, oh, my God, okay. So that meeting point where we crossed when he said that, he took me back to that place, back to Litchfield. It was like at nighttime, almost like 6:30 when it was kind of dim, and the sun was setting, and he was like, do you remember what happened over here? And I'm like, why are we at Litchfield at the field, Then he ended up getting on one knee and proposing. And so he was going to college at Alabama A&M, and this was before he was leaving out for college, and I stayed home because I was pregnant with our first child then. I stayed home and went to Gadsden State. But anyhow, when he went off to college, our communication kind of went left, right, front, back. So I ended up throwing that ring away, like literally taking it off, and it was a beautiful, beautiful ring. I ended up taking that ring off, throwing it while I was driving, like how you see on TV.
I love it.
I know it's crazy, but we made amends. Hence, we've been together all this time, and he ended up getting me a better ring. So
I'm about to throw mine out.
I know. I mean, it was crazy how it happened. But we were young. I was young and dumb, and I threw that beautiful ring out, my first ring. I actually went back to look for it, and it was gone. So I know. That's crazy.
You made somebody's day.
I know I did. A free ring on the road,
Like somebody was
beautiful
excited.
ring, too. It was nice.
I'm kidding, Ben. I'm not going to throw mine away. This is my second one. I broke the first one.
Oh.
Like, it's a whole shebang.
That's funny.
So we've got our proposal story. We've got that you guys have been together since 1978.
Yeah.
It feels like my whole life, your whole life, all our lives.
We grew up together.
So when he was going to school, was it to be a coach? Was that his end game, or was he one of those where he started out and he was like, I'm going to be a lawyer, and then was like, you know what?
He never wanted to be a coach. Put this on. Hey, he will testify. He never wanted to be a coach, but he always knew he loved football. He went to college to major in exercise science, but his biggest thing was to play football. He played college ball. So, he was never the kind to say, I'm all about my books, he was always that football player. And so when that didn't work out, he loved the game so much. I said, and his nickname is Nama, if y'all don't know, but I said, Nama, I really see you being a football coach. And he's like, I can't be no football coach. I'd rather be in pads. But then he came to his senses and was like, if I can't do it any other way, if I can't go pro, then I wouldn't be nowhere else but on the field by doing, being a coach. So he's been happy ever since he made that decision. So, yeah.
I get that. And I know a lot of you saw like the banter on Facebook, because when we started the Friday Night Wives, like I keep getting done dirty by these guys. Like they sat me next to Rachel Smith last week, and she's beautiful. And then when Bo was like, oh man, like I've got someone for you, and he sent me your picture, he's like, she looks like she belongs on a red carpet. And I was like, y'all doing me dirty. So it's almost to me though, like one of the stipulations for being a coach's wife is that you gotta be a knockout. Like, and I've never met an ugly coach's wife. I haven't. And if you're out there, tag me. I'd love to meet you. You sit with me. But I have a friend in Texas even. Like, and her name's Allie. Her husband's I want to say defensive coordinator. Don't get me if I'm wrong. But like, she's stunning, and I'm like, this is a nationwide thing. So that's how I was like, did he go to college and say, baby,
no,
you beautiful? I'm gonna be a coach.
No, that was just something that he was like, aha, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and he's been passionate about it ever since. So. Yeah. So
let's talk family life. You said first child. How many childs are there?
Yeah, we have 3. We have 2 boys and a little baby girl. Well, she's not a baby, but she's 6. So we have 3 children. Yeah. They keeping me young.
I need 2 more. Yeah. I need 2 more to keep up.
Yeah, 2 boys and a girl. Full of life.
How old are the boys?
I have a 15-year-old and 11-year-old, then the 6-year-old. So.
All right.
Yeah, we're spaced them out,
And so, you guys, I say you guys, you went to CUSA and you took over a program that was struggling, to say the least. And it's like you guys grabbed it and you whipped it around.
It was amazing. Just before he got the coaching job there, I never knew CUSA had a football team. I really didn't. I didn't know because I never heard anything about him. But when he decided to take that role, I'm like, okay, let's do this, And so to see that team blossom the way it did, all credit to God, for everything. But I know he used my husband in a special way to help those kids. So it was definitely a beautiful foundation for him. We'll never forget it.
Well, and now you've gone from being the head coach's wife, and I know that you have said before that, like, you're sitting in the stands and you hear everything. And I think a lot of people forget that these coaches have someone in the stands. So, and these kids have someone in the stands.
Right.
And so how hard is it for you not to turn around and be like, I wish you'd shut up?
Well, I'm not a confrontational person anyhow. But I learn to tune them out because it's the right thing to do. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I know what asset my husband is to a team. And so, I believe in him even if we're 0-9, 0-10. I'm going to be that cheerleader anyhow. So it doesn't bother. I mean, sometimes it can like get that close, you just wait on them to say the wrong thing. But, you have to say, okay, it's just a game. At the end of the day, it's just a game. We all got to go home and start this thing over next week, So, I just kind of keep my calm, cool, Then I have family that's like, don't say nothing, just be quiet. Look straight ahead, so we're good.
So you've gone from being the head coach's wife to the coordinator's wife. Is it any different sitting in the stands, or are people still like?
Well, I think it's all about the same. As far as the responsibilities as a coach's wife to be that support even when it's looking bad. Even I don't know a whole lot about football, but I know enough to say, okay, that was a bad call, coach. I don't know if that was good. Why did he call that kind of thing? And then after we get home, he'll explain it to me. So, I sit around and I try not to let all the talk overwhelm me, because sometimes I'm like, what did you do that for? As a wife. But then he explains it to me, so I understand why sometimes people say stuff, but I don't let it get to me.
Do you ever go back and be like, hey, Jim Bob, who sits six seats back, he said this, this, and this?
I have before, like, hey, so-and-so, I heard she said something, but
so y'all watch it.
Yeah, but the way he is, he don't care. He's like, this is a big role, and if anybody stepped in this role that I'm in, they would see that it's not as easy.
Right.
As you have 100 coaches sitting on the couch, from watching from the stands, but if you put them out in front of the kid and actually coach, they wouldn't know how to do it. So
I agree.
I'm just saying, they wouldn't know how to do it.
I'm a coach's kid. So.
Yeah. So we just kind of take it for what it is and keep rolling.
Well, I love it, but y'all watch what you say. 'Cause now that I'm meeting all these wives, like, I'm going to tell on you. I'm going to get your picture, and I'm going to send it to them. I'm going to let them know. I'm going to tell them. So, I asked Rachel this, and this is kind of my, like, I love my mom, but I get it on. It's like the whole juju thing. Like, do you have anything where, like, on Friday nights you're like, you know what? I brushed my teeth before breakfast, so now this is my Friday morning ritual.
Not really. We just we pray and just move on. That's all we can do. We don't do all that. Hey, you better wear them purple socks. We don't do that. We just go with it. Yeah. But so we just take it game by game, and just be what it is.
So what does a normal Friday look like for you? Like, from the time that you hit that alarm button, how are we going?
So Friday mornings, of course, we're already anticipating a win. Regardless of who we playing, we already saying we're gonna win. Victorious in our minds. But my oldest son, he actually plays for Gadsden City. So,
okay.
My husband, he always leaves first before we go to school. I mean, get them to school or whatever. So he do all his loving and hugging and, hey, son, it's going to be all right. We're going to pull it in or whatever. But when I drop my kids off at my in-laws' house, I always tell my son, because he plays, like I said, he plays. He's starting to be on the field a little bit more. And I tell him, just have fun. Don't worry about how many tackles you're going to get. Or I'll kid him and say, how many tackles you're going to get. But, I don't want to put that pressure on him. So I always say, hey, just have fun. Don't worry about it. Just have fun. We've been telling him that since he was little. So, but then after that, go to work. I try to get off work early on Fridays so I can, prep and look decent as a coach's wife. And, we go forward. We try to get there a little bit early so we can, sense the atmosphere, see what it feels like. And if we can, we try to, when we do get there early, we try to, do our little, I love you type thing. It's going to be good. And then just go forward, But I will tell you, after every game, we meet them at the gate. No matter if they win, lose, or draw, we meet them at the gate because he needs that. They need the team. They need that. Y'all did great. I mean, hey, next time, we're going to get them next time. So that's our thing. If y'all ever see us at the end of the game, we're going to be right at the gate waiting on our boys, you know, to come off and cheer them on, because they need that boost. No matter how many points we were down, they need that. So that's our thing. Yeah.
Well, do you have any piece of advice that you would give to a coach's wife, head coach, coordinator, water boy's wife? Like, give them a piece of information.
My biggest thing is just be that background support, you know. When I can sense when he's in a zone, he'll put them headphones on and he'll get to looking at all this film, and I kind of, you know, I have to like, hey, can you do a timeout so I can tell you something, you know? But I try to give him his space, because I know how important he takes his job very, you know, serious. And so I try to give him his space, and when he's ready to talk, hey, I'm right here. And if I can understand it, you know, I'll try to understand it. If I can't understand it, I don't get impatient when I can't understand it. I'm like, okay, well, you know, hey, I trust you, you know. And I'll tell you this one thing that he did. He was trying to come up with, I'm a dancer. I dance with my church. So he was trying to come up with this move or this signal to help with, I guess, cue the guys on the field. And he was like, what can I do for this particular call? And I said, and I just started doing all kind of dance moves and whatnot. He's like, that's it, you know. And so saying all that to say, being what he needs me to be when he needs me to be it, you know what I mean? Trying to keep the house up as best as I can, because I still work full time and whatnot. Trying to make sure that when he comes home, he don't have to worry about what are we going to eat. You know, just trying to make it comfortable for him, because his job is, you know, is taxing on him, you know, mentally, physically, emotionally. Have to be there for the kids. So I try to make his life easy when he walks off the field. You know what I mean? So y'all do that. Help your husbands, love them, and, you know, help them at home.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of men out there that are like, I missed a boat. I missed a boat, because I can guarantee you Ben Swim gets home and he goes, what's for dinner? And I'm like, I don't know, where are you taking me? Where are we going?
Now, I'm not perfect now. I don't cook every night by no means, but I'll make sure, hey, I'm going to grab you some Popeyes or something, you know. I'm going to grab it for you.
I try to do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys sound like the dream team.
We try to be, you know, he helps me, you know, we're like a puzzle, you know, where I'm weak, he's strong, and where I'm strong, he's weak. So we try to, you know, meet each other at the point of our needs, you know.
What do you guys do on the weekends? Like, do you spend your weekends watching film? Do you watch other football? Like, is it all consumed?
Weekends are for football season. Saturdays is football all day for him. Now he'll get up maybe about 7:30, 8 o'clock. If he's not too tired from Friday night, he'll get up in the morning and he'll say, I'm gonna be done with looking at film by 5 o'clock. And I'm like, 5 o'clock? That's a long time. But he's so serious about his position, you know. And so I give him 5 o'clock, and then after 5, if he's still going a little bit, he'll make time and say, hey, let's go to my mom's house, or go grab a bite, or let's go look at, you know, go do this or whatever. So, you know, we try to make that balance. But Sundays, you know, with Gadsden City, they do practice on Sundays. So around 11 o'clock, he has to go to the field. But between 7:30, 8 o'clock till 11, we're spending time with family. Sundays is our family day, so all our aunts, uncles, everybody gets together. So we try to use that time for family time.
Now, I'm going to loop back around, because I have to go around the world to get back to something. You guys went to Litchfield, and then it's all it's all one big school now. Is that like coming home, or was it?
Yes, it is. We started out in the Gadsden City school system with our kids, and they actually played Pee-wee ball with the Titans. And then when my husband got the job with Coosa, it was like, man, we're moving, and we didn't move out of town by no means, but it was like a piece of us was like, man, we're missing something, you know, and we want to be home. But Coosa, like I said, no downplay to Coosa. We enjoyed it. We loved it. That was part of our foundation, part of his foundation as a head coach. And, you know, it built him up to be who he is now. But it's so good to be home. I mean, it's so good to be home. Our boys, like I said, they played Pee-wee ball. So the teammates, when my husband moved over to Coosa, my kids went to Coosa. And so my oldest son played for him, and so for him to be reunited back with his buddies that he grew up with, it's epic. So we're glad to be home.
We are glad that you're home.
Yes.
And thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
coming on today. We so appreciate it. Do you have anything that you want to touch on before we sign off?
Go Titans. Y'all come Friday night. Go Titans. That's it.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
And thank you guys for tuning in. And thank you to Misty Starkey, wife of Bo Starkey, for this bomb setup that
this is beautiful.
she did a great job. And thank you to Michael DeLozier and Aligned Insurance for bringing us the Friday Night Wives. And we will see you guys next week.